This time it ain't a game, yeah. MJ with the 6 rings, yeah. Y'all better switch out your plays, yeah. On fire with the little flame, yeah.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. It is Mike, and today I will be going over my top 10 movies of 2019. Now, first I'd like to start off and say 2019 has been an incredible year for movies. You had a lot of great movies, a lot of great acting, and also you had a couple of bad movies, which I will do another list of the top 10 worst movies of 2019. Actually, you got, which I would think is the worst movie in cinema, which is Dark Phoenix, probably the worst superhero movie I ever seen, and also one of the worst movies I ever saw, period. Now, but the first movie that made the list, my number 10, is Bong Joon-ho, Parasite. Now, this movie was great. One thing about this movie that a lot of people did not see it, because I think it went over a lot of people's heads, because this movie is in subtitles. However, that doesn't take the fact that's how such of an amazing movie that this was. Every shot, every visual, it was just great. The acting of the performance were great. The directing was great. And also the movie was very, very creepy, and it was a powerful message on the social class. It was pretty much a satire of the rich, upper class, middle class, and poor class, pretty much with which one is evil, which I thought was a great story, especially in the times that we live in today. Also, one negative effect and the reason why it is so high up on the list is because the movie is, man, in the beginning of the movie, I felt that the movie was a little hard to follow, but that's just me. If you guys tell me what you guys think about Parasite. Now, my number 9 is Jordan Peele's Us, his second movie. After Get Out, I had very, very high expectations for Us. It did not meet my expectations, but it was still a good movie. Us. The reason why it is so high up on this list, because the movie was very, 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 very predictable when I watched it again. And also, yeah, it was just predictable. And another problem I did have with the movie is that even though it was supposed to be a horror film, it had a lot of jokes. Even though the jokes were hits, I did enjoy that part of the movie. But if I want to look at it from a negative perspective, if I'm nitpicking, is that when you do comedy in a horror movie, it kind of take away from the horror element of the movie. But overall, I thought it was a good movie because the cinematography was great. The score of the movie was great. Also, the acting was just phenomenal. And this was a great movie. Now my number 8 is David Sandberg's Shazam. Let's talk about Shazam. First, Zach Levy and Asher Angel as Shazam were great. Very, 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 very great. However, I do think the movie suffers because the movie was very, very long. That's really the only negative. Oh, the villain was a tad bit overwhelming in my opinion. But those two are the only negatives I can really think about in the movie. But overall, the movie was very, very, very good. It was a pretty good origin for Shazam, his first movie on the big screen. Now let's talk about my number 7 is SpiderMan Far From Home, John Watts. Now, when I first saw this movie, I enjoyed every single minute of this movie. We got a great villain, which is Mysterio. And man, Mysterio was such a great villain in this movie because it was a great turn. It was a very, very great turn. Jack Gyllenhaal is a pretty good actor. The whole cast pretty much did a good job. Tom Holland, and I do like the fact that this movie was pretty much a love. That was my phone. Sorry, guys. One thing, one thing I do like about this movie is that this movie was pretty much a love letter to Tony Stark, who has died in Avengers Endgame, which I'll get to. But also, another thing I do love about this movie is that it shows like pretty much great visuals throughout the movie with the illusions that Mysterio was able to do. I thought it was great. The story was pretty much great. When Mysterio turned heel, I'm going to use a wrestling term, it was a very, very, very good turn. I felt like it. And yeah, that's how I feel about Spider-Man Far From Home. Now my number 6 is David Yoshietti Brightburn. This movie, Brightburn, when I first saw it, I thought it was phenomenal. This movie is pretty much about what if Superman comes to Earth to end up taking over the Earth. Kind of like what Goku was supposed to do in Dragon Ball before he bumped his head. This movie was great. You had the kid who was very, very, very creepy throughout this movie, and I thought it did a pretty good job adding to the creep factor of this movie. Another thing that I do like about this movie is that the kills were just phenomenal. Now, a negative I could take out this movie is that I wish that we could have a little bit more time with the boy before he changed and become an evil person. I wish they would have showed a little bit more scenes of him pretty much how he used to act before he became evil. Also, I thought some of the characters did a lot of bad, made some dumb decisions, but come on, yeah, they made some dumb decisions. Now, my next pick, my number 5 is Noah Baumbach. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. Marriage Story. Now, this movie was pretty much a horror movie for divorce, which I thought was kind of. I'm not really into these movies, but when I saw this movie, I thought the movie was incredible. The way it was shot, the way Scarlett Johansson, pretty much the acting was just phenomenal in this movie. And it was pretty much for people that has ever been in a relationship, and the breakup of a relationship can really relate to this movie, which is pretty much give this movie its charm, because it's very, very relatable for people that have been in failed relationships or divorces. So my number 4 is Robert Eggers' Lighthouse. Lighthouse was a great movie, a really, really, really phenomenal movie, which I'm pretty sure went over a lot of people's heads because this movie was in black and white. Now, I'm pretty sure this younger generation don't like would never give a black and white movie a chance because, well, it's black and white. However, Robert Pattinson and William Dafoe did an amazing job at this movie. Man, it is it's a very impactful film, I feel like. And it's pretty much a two-man show, pretty much. And another thing about this movie that I enjoyed was that, well, it kind of kept me on the edge of my feet because it dealt with claustrophobia, which is a real thing, and it kind of made me uncomfortable, which I'm pretty sure that was the design of the movie, and it really, really worked, which kudos to them. Now, my number 3 is Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Now, where can I start? First, let's talk about this amazing cast. Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio, one of the greatest actors of all time. Margaret Robbie, Al Pacino, and also this was a great movie. I mean, what do you expect from a Quentin Tarantino movie? Well, I mean, what can you really expect? It's Quentin Tarantino, guys. Also, this movie is a great period piece of the early days of Hollywood. Now, let's talk about my number 2. My number 2 is Todd Phillips' The Joker. When I first saw this movie, man, it was very, very, very dark. Just the way it was shot. It reminds me of a Scorsese film, which I'm pretty sure a lot of critics have shown comparisons to this movie. And you can really see the inspiration in this movie. Now, one thing I did like, however, was that how pretty much Joaquin Phoenix, honestly, I can say the best acting I've seen in a long time. That's all I'm going to say about this movie, guys. And I'm going to say one more thing. Also, just the psychological elements of this movie, which really put the movie on edge. I felt the pacing was great. It was just a great movie all overall. The Joker, y'all need to go see this movie. Now, my number 1, y'all already know what's my number 1. Anthony and Joe Russo, the Russo brothers, Avengers Endgame. Man. First, for a movie to almost make me cry, is a phenomenal movie. When Iron Man died, very, very, very sad watching this movie. High expectations going into this movie, the most anticipated movie of this year. Although this movie does have problems, it doesn't take away from the really the iconic score that it has. I love the score. This movie has a lot of heart. It was pretty much a love letter to the fans who have spent a 10-year investment of the whole MCU. Now, another thing that I'm going to do on a side note, guys, I am going to do pretty much a podcast out of the whole Phase 1, Phase 2, and Phase 3, and pretty much just to celebrate just the Infinity Saga ending, and just, man, what a great movie. What all can be said? You had a lot of unanswered questions that were answered, and also a lot of new questions that is going to set up for Phase 4. Now, I will do future videos on Avengers Endgame, but overall, I just want to say this is my number 1. What a masterpiece of a movie. Now, if you guys agree with my list, leave it down in the comment section. If you disagree, let's have a discussion in the comment section. Tell me your guys' top movie of the year. Like, if I'm not going to make fun of you, nobody's not going to make fun of you unless you say The Lion King and Dark Phoenix is your favorite movie. Maybe we'll make fun of you. But yeah, guys, this will do it for this video. I will be doing a video on the worst movies of 2019. Also, I'll be doing a New Year's video, which pretty much want to recap 2019 as a whole and just pretty much just talk about 2019. So yeah, guys, if you like this video, give us a like, share it to a friend. We need to grow together, guys. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Join us. Like the thing said, let me in. Like, come on, let me into your phones and hopefully I'll do good making videos, I guess. But yeah, guys, like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out. Peace.